In this video, we're going to look at the multiplication and division of fractions. Before we look at an example, I just want us to look at a few notes. First of all, you have to factorize first. You have to make sure that everything is properly factorized. And the types of factorization that you can expect are common factor, the difference of squares, or thirdly, the trinomial. So you have to factorize first, and then once everything has factorized, you may cancel anything on the top with the identical bracket or term on the bottom. Let's look at our first example. In our example, x squared plus 6x over 3x squared times 6x minus 36 over x squared minus 36. Now remember, we cannot cancel anything. We have to make sure everything is fully factorized first. So in that first fraction, I can see in the numerator, I can take out a common factor. The common factor would be x. 3x squared remains the same. If I move to the second fraction, in the numerator, I could take out a common factor of 6. And the denominator would be difference of squares. So if we apply those methods of factorization, we end up with x times x plus 6 in the first fraction over 3x squared, multiplied by 6, and in brackets x minus 6. The difference of squares factorizes to x minus 6, x plus 6. And now we can cancel anything on the top with a matching item on the bottom. So we can cancel the x plus 6 with the x plus 6 on the bottom. We can cancel the x minus 6 on top with the x minus 6 on the bottom. And we can cancel the x on the top with one of the x's on the bottom, so the squared can go away. What I want you to notice is you can still read what was underneath. So please, when you are cancelling, do it very lightly that we can still read what was underneath. Now that you've finished all your cancelling, you're left with a 6 on top, and at the bottom, you're left with 3x. Now at this stage, you can ask yourself, is there a number that goes into 6 and 3? And you can simplify it straight away. If not, you can go to 6 over 3x. And maybe it's easier to see now that I can actually divide both 6 and 3 by 3. And I end up with 2 over x. I need to do this final step because the instruction was to simplify as far as possible. Pause now so that you can take down this example. In our second example, we again have two fractions, but this time we have a divide in the middle. And what you need to remember is if you've got a divide in the middle, you need to remember to tip in times in your first step. And you always tip the fraction after the divide sign. So in other words, I will end up with 2x squared plus 8 over 2x plus 4 multiplied by 6x minus 12 over x to the power of 4 minus 16. And let's decide what type of factorization we need to do. In the first fraction, I can take out a common 2. I can also take out a common 2 in the denominator. In the second fraction, I can take out a common 6 in the numerator. And in the denominator, we have difference of squares. Once I factorize, what I do notice is in the denominator of the second fraction, I've still got difference of squares. So you can cancel certain things at this stage, but try and finish your factorization first. So if I factorize just x squared minus 4, we end up with x minus 2, x plus 2. Remember, I cannot take x squared plus 4 further because it has a plus in the middle. I can only take it further if it was negative. And now that everything is factorized as far as possible, we can cancel certain things. So we can cancel x squared plus 4 on the top and the bottom. We can cancel x minus 2 on the top and the bottom. And we can cancel the 2's. We are left with a 6 on the top. In the bottom, we're left with x plus 2 and another x plus 2. Now remember, we cannot factorize them because they're both on the, we cannot cancel them, sorry, because they're both on the bottom. One needs to be on the top and the bottom if I'm going to cancel. So our final answer is 6 over x plus 2, x plus 2. If you want, you can rewrite it as 6 over x plus 2 all squared, but that is not necessary. Pause now so that you can make some notes. In one final example, we have division and multiplication. Now, the first thing we're going to deal with is that division. Remember, when you see a divide sign, you need to tip and times, but we only tip the fraction immediately after the divide sign. And we end up with x squared minus 4 over x plus 4 as my second fraction. And now we need to factorize as far as we can. In the first fraction, I see a common factor of x on top. In the denominator, there's a trinomial that we will factorize. In the numerator of the second fraction, we've got difference of squares. The denominator of that fraction, we don't need to do anything. Then we've got a common factor of 3 in the final fraction and a common factor of minus 2 in that denominator. So if we do all those factorizations, we will end up with the next step. One thing you just need to be aware of is if I take out a minus 2 as my common factor, if I take out any negative as a common factor, I must remember to change the sign inside the bracket. And now you can cancel anything on the top with anything that matches on the bottom. So we can cancel the 2x minus 1's, we can cancel x minus 2's, we can cancel x plus 2's, and we can cancel the x plus 4's. What we're left with is x on the top, a 3 on the top, and a minus 2 on the bottom. If we multiply everything on the top together and everything on the bottom together, we end up with 3x over negative 2. Remember, you can also rewrite the negative in front of the whole fraction. So you can write it at the bottom or in the middle, both are correct. Time to try some on your own. Thanks for watching Max Maths. If you liked what you saw, please like, share and subscribe.